Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Royale Greenstone. What we're doing today, we're tumbling the greenstones. We're going to take you through step by step the process that we use to achieve a brilliant polish on greenstones using the tumbler. And so right here in this part of the video, we're just taking the greenstones that we had previously sorted and gotten ready for tumbling and put them all together, and we're putting them in the tub now for the first time, and we're adding water and number 1 grit to the greenstones. So one thing to keep in mind at this particular step in the process is to make sure that your rim of your tumbler barrel is free of debris and small stones or pieces of grit that might be left in that rim, because it can cause water to drip out and then your stones don't have any water to tumble. Okay, so we've been rolling these stones, these greenstones in the tumbler for about 4 days now, and when it started out it was kind of real gravelly sounding, you know, from the stones washing in the water, and now I've got kind of a noise coming out of the tumbler that's consistent with more like a slurry, and I'll bring it over here so you can see it. So you can kind of hear it. It's a smooth roll, so you know it's kind of a There's been a lot of breakdown of the stones, and so now we're going to open it up and we're going to see what we got. Hey guys, so we're just going to open this up. We're going to take a look inside. What we're expecting to find is a real thick slurry, and that's from the outer edges of the greenstones sort of wore away, and so now we've got this pasty mud inside it. And if I look here, just kind of grab like this, it's kind of that's all kind of greenstone stuff that's just kind of washed or broken down and come off of the greenstones. So let's dump it in the tub here. All right, hang on 1 second, stop right there. Let's get rid of that slurry first before we dump the rest of that in there. That'll just make cleaning so much easier. Alright, now let's see what we got. So now it looks a little bit like concrete in here. It's kind of, these are the greenstones, but they're all covered in this kind of slurry mud yet. So let's pour some water on there. See what we got. now you can really start to see the green color kind of come out. Starting to see the greenstones again. And of course we got a couple pieces of copper in there with it. They might look clean on the first couple of rinses, but they're really not, and it takes about 5 or 6 rinses before they're really nice and clean. So I'm just going to grab a small handful, like a sample size handful, and I'm just going to look at the exposure of the pattern that's on some of these stones. And right now it's really looking like they're not ready to move to the next step. So we're still in the grinding mode. We're still exposing the pattern. We're going to keep it on number 2 grit and just keep grinding this down for at least another 2 days. And then, just see where we're at. But my guess is this is going to take 4 more days to get a really nice looking pattern on these stones, and we'll move on from there. Okay, so here they are, back in there. We're going to throw some more grit inside it, which is going to be a number 2, and some water. Put the cover back on and let them roll. Now guys, it's really important that you clean this inside cover, or this inside seal on your tumbler. I just, sometimes I'll rinse it with water, but this inside seal is what keeps that water in. And what can happen is you can walk away from your tumbler and come back to it completely dry because all the water escaped. So we're just going to take some time here, rinse off the top edge of that tumbler rim, and that way we get a nice tight seal and no water escapes. Same thing on the cover. Just going to clean the cover off really good. That way we get a nice seal. Do our leak test. Make sure we don't have anything dripping. Look good. Okay, our greenstones are in the tumbler still. They've been in there for 2 days. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to open them up again. We're going to take a look at them and see how we're doing on our progress. Back to the greenstones now. And if you listen, you can kind of hear them rolling. And so what I'm listening for is just kind of like a thick mud inside there, just so that I know, okay, it's probably time to change them out. Okay, so much thinner this time, not not much of that thick residue coming off the greenstones anymore. That's good. That means we've got all the soft stuff. So I'm actually really excited. So right now we've got, there's just not a whole lot of, I'll just call it mud that's come off of this. It's pretty liquid yet. So what that tells me is we've got a lot more harder material that we're dealing with, which means we've gotten rid of a lot of the basalty stuff. So these should actually clean up really good, and I can't wait to see them. Pretty nice. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna just take I don't know, maybe a couple of handfuls outside in the sunlight so we can get a really good look at these greenstones, and I can show you. My anticipation is that we're probably gonna be 2 or 3 days short of polishing yet, so, but we're gonna go bring these outside on the table. Okay, just out here on the outside picnic table. Just gonna throw these down here on the table, take a look. Sometimes it helps to use a mirror to really get a good look on these. So
I'm happy to see some of the copper included greenstone right there. That's kind of cool.
Wow.
We had some copper nuggets come out of there.
What do you think about the results of the pattern and how the pattern's coming out?
Well, we still have basalt on some of the patterns. This one's going to be a pretty nice stone. That pattern's coming out really nice.
Okay.
Maybe a little longer.
Yeah, it's not there yet, is it?
No. That one's going to be really pretty cool. That's a nice greenstone.
Yeah.
The pattern is actually starting to show up pretty good through here. I think with just a little bit more grinding, a lot more of that, these will clean right up nicely. I like some of the copper included ones that we had.
Yeah, they're really turning out great. And this is just a handful. There's quite a bit more in that.
Wow, that's
tumbler.
That's a great greenstone.
Yeah, it sure is. Look at that.
Wow. That'll take a nice polish right almost the way it is.
Now, you know, you may want to pick a couple of these out just to hand polish too.
You know, that's a great idea. Like this one here, I like this one because of the copper. That's a copper included.
Which one here?
This one right here in my hand, it's a copper with greenstone. I like those.
Yeah.
Got a little agate in there.
Little Thompsonite maybe.
Maybe Thompsonite?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it is a Thompsonite.
See if you can roll those again, get some water back on them. Yeah, there we go.
A pattern is actually coming out really quite nice. You know, a lot of these are going to have great patterns.
Yeah, yeah, we get a lot more in a tumbler too, so it's going pretty good.
Well, this was just a handful out of that batch.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you have it, guys. We're just going to keep it up. We're probably going to roll these at least 3 more days and see what they look like. Okay, we're just taking this back off. It has actually been about 5 days that we've rolled this session. So I'm expecting a nice amount of wash on these stones. There's a nice consistency inside it. So it looks like we've removed some material off the outside of the stones. Let's just get rid of that mud a minute.
I've always liked them.
Yeah, they just really are pretty cool. Just little
That one's
pieces
pretty,
of
that one's
cholesterolite
shiny.
on top.
Get a lot of copper.
That's great. Let's take a sample handful out into the light. Take a look at them again. I think we're getting a lot more. We're getting a lot more pattern showing up on these stones. Okay, these greenstones have rolled for about a week now, and got kind of it's like a pasty, I don't know, like a mud. So we've removed quite a bit more material, and I'm hoping that we've gotten more basalt off of all of these pieces. So try to get in here and get a nice view of kind of the condition of all these stones. It's a little hard to see here, but if I can pull a few out and take a look. So like this one for instance, doesn't have much basalt on it yet, or left. That one looks pretty good. So anyway, long story short, we're ready to polish, so we're just gonna wash these up. We're gonna clean these out, and then we're gonna move on to polish. Okay, we're just using a colander separator to get rid of all the grit. Just pouring a little water over top. It's very important that you get all the grit out. Okay, so after we've got the greenstones perfectly clean, we don't have any leftover grit in it, we're going to go ahead and dump that into the bowl here, into our tumbler. And we're just going to add the cerium oxide, and there's no real set amount that you're going to use. It's just got to cover the stones, make it look like it's enough where it's going to be effective. And then we're going to add some water. And you want to make sure you cover the stones with the water, but it's important that you leave enough air in that to allow for the tumbling action to be effective. So about there, the tumbler is now about half full. Okay, these stones, they've been in the tumbler now for a full 2 weeks on polish, and we're just about to pull them out and take a look and see what they look like. just take a handful out. See what they look like. Oh, that's really cool.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, you bet. We're going to set them out on a cloth to dry, and then we'll examine the polish. I'm just going to dump it out right here. So just to sum up the process here a little bit and make this a little bit easier to understand, we used 2 steps on our grinding and polishing. We just used a number 2 grit for about 3 weeks to achieve our desired pattern on our stone, and then we polished for 2 weeks. So ending the polish stage is really just a personal opinion. It's trial and error. Just grab a bunch of stones out of your tumbler barrel, take a look at them. If you're happy with the polish, then they're done. If you think they could get a little bit more polished, then leave them in for another week. Wow, those are some fantastic looking greenstones. I'm really happy with the result. There's a really nice polish on most of the greenstone and the clastrite that was exposed on the stone, and the patterns just turned out outstanding. Hey, if you like the video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out, and we'll be sure to bring you some more of this outstanding greenstone content. So until next time, guys, take care and have fun.